What's up, guys? Thought I'd just give you a quick update. I've been working on my wire harness here. I got the engine harness basically complete, so I thought I'd kind of show you here what I got going on and how it's looking. I think it's turned out pretty good, but now I need to do the body harness. But here, let me show you the engine harness here. So just to show you kind of simulation, here's the firewall, and it's going to come in, and this is where the heater core and the blower motor and stuff usually is. So like my shift cables come through here. This is like the center of the car, just to give you an idea. So I'm gonna have power come in here to the relays and fuses and all that, and then it goes out to the ECU and whatnot. So anyway, and the ignition, like right off the battery and ignition power in and the ground out basically is all that's here, and a fuel pump output off the relay. But anyway, so you have the 4 ECU connectors going out and around, and then to tie in between the ECU and the power connector, I went through, and just to give you like an idea, I labeled all this stuff. So it's like ignition power, e-throttle relay, drive-by-wire, 14 volt, ECU ignition, so that like turns ECU on. What's this one? The slipper valve power. And it's labeled on this side and this side, all the same, in case I ever change anything. I got on both sides. And then, this is just another connector with just everything. 14 volt slipper valve, auxiliary, clutch pressure, because I'm going to have that go out, vehicle speed sensor, radiator fan. These are the positive and negative that go to the dash. Just some 12 volt power, throttle pedal, main and sub, flat shift, which I had going to my clutch pedal, but I don't know if I need that anymore. Sensor ground, and then I did wheel speed sensors, 2 for each one, but I'm not going to hook them up right away, but you can see like 2 wires for each wheel for wheel speed sensor, and this is the starter. So that's all got to go into the body harness. Here's so imagine this comes through by the shock tower. This is my crank trigger. This goes up on the firewall, and then if anyone knows my car, my regulators right here, so that's fuel pressure. Right, it's labeled that. Should be. Oh yeah, there it is. Fuel pressure. Then I have each of these ones with the green seal. Those are ignition coils, 1 through 4. This is my map sensor. Yeah, there it is, map. Intake air temp on the new intake manifold. So that stuff kind of goes up on the firewall and above the intake manifold. Coming out here, this is going to go over on the cam cover. These are the 4 EGT probes. This is going to come around by the shock tower, come out. This is an expansion plug in case I want to add any more inputs or outputs later. This is my EMAP. Right, yeah, EMAP. And this is my O2 sensor. So that's going over on that side. This is going underneath the intake manifold. And then here's my 8 injectors and my knock sensor right here. That's the knock, and the 8, the 4 longer are the primary, because they got to go underneath. The 4 shorter are the secondary, all labeled. So this is going to come out right underneath where the stock distributor is. Then you got the cam sensor, TPS or the throttle, whatever, because I got drive-by-wire. This is the reverse lights, coolant, temp, and pressure in one. It's one sensor. You got the ground on the head for all the ECU. You should really always ground the ECU on the head. It's called star grounding point. This is the boost control, the starter, oil pressure and oil temp, together. Turbo wheel speed. This goes to the front of the block, and I have a drilled port. This is the crankcase pressure sensor. That's another sensor. Yeah, crankcase. And then these two come out, and these are wastegate 1 and 2. So I have a dual gate. It is the pressure sensors. I was going to put on the top just to monitor it. I don't know. Or I can always change these to wastegate position sensors. Just change the plug. So that's kind of what I got going on with this. I mean, I use the DR25 and all that. It turned out pretty good, I think. But it's I just got to do the body harness now, which I'll show you how I've gotten that kind of started. Let's just do one connector at a time. As you can see with the connectors, I have 2 8-pin and 2 12-pin, but different colors, so I can't mix them up. So it's either 8 in gray, 8 in black, or 12 gray, 12 or 12 black, 12 gray. So here's the 8 gray, which I have the electronic throttle pedal for the drive-by-wire going there. This is going to my stock, the switch on the top of the pedal that cuts your cruise control off if you hit the clutch down. I got that, so I can never use that for a flat shift thing if I ever go back to a stock trans or something. And then this is going to a strain gauge shift knob, which I have a dog box now, so this is what I'll be using mainly. But that's what that connector is. Alright, this is the 12-pin black. I have to my slipper valve the 14-volt power, and then the ECU grounds it to activate it. So that's going to go to the slipper valve, which is on my firewall. So it just goes through and then pops out like right by like the gauge cluster. That's where my slipper valve is on the firewall. Then I have the vehicle speed sensor and a tach output. This goes out to my fuel pump controller in the back of the car. It gives it an RPM signal that turns it in high and low. And then the vehicle speed sensor comes in. This is the clutch pressure. So you have the signal ground, 5-volt, and clutch pressure. And that also goes by the slipper valve, the sensors right there. So these two will be going like basically side by side. And then this is the CAN positive and CAN negative to the dash. So it reads back and forth. So that's that plug. And finally, the gray 12-point. I have the 5-volt sensor ground, and it's the 12 position potentiometer I'm going to use for boost control and put on the dash. This is going to be a launch control switch, so I can turn launch control on and off. So that way, if I want a free rev in neutral, I can without the 2-step turning on. And this red wire is going to, on this side, you can see these, the factory wires, that's reverse lights. And then one's a power and one's a ground. Well, the power, I'm going to have this go to the same pin and jump and get 12 volts for that. This is going to be a data log switch, so I can turn it on and the ECU will data log. That's also going to get a red wire. I ran out of red wire. It's on order. So I got to, twist the red wire here, twist the red wire here for 12 volts for that switch, this one. And they're all going to go to this pin and like Y off. So when I get the red wire, I'll do that. And then this is the flex fuel again. That's, flex. So this needs a red wire, and then I'll run that to my flex fuel sensor. So as soon as I get that red wire and I can twist this all on and then pin this, I will start putting this into the car. But basically the only thing that's in the car still that I just need to put a connector is like the starter, and then these 2 wires for the reverse lights I'll do, and then I'll stick in here. The rest of it's just kind of like run like this. So that's it. I mean, it's really close. I just need to finish putting the red wire in here and wire it off, and then bring it into the car and install this stuff, and then do this stuff so it's getting power from the battery. And then I can actually like turn it on and make sure the sensors are all working. Oh, and this is a CAN expansion. So this goes to the dash. Then you have my, for EGTs, it's a I forgot the name of it, but it's all a temp thing. It goes there, and then I needed this because I'm going to do a GPS for speed, which is also from AIM, and go there. And then if I want to expand into other things with the CAN signal, I can add them in here. But yeah, that's it, man. It's going good. So hopefully it can get to the point where I'm having fun and unlocking, has power to this and checking sensors and everything. It's coming along though. But that's it for now.